Welcome, friends. Welcome to Programming with Grish, and here we will talk about the life cycle method of an activity. So here, this is very important chapter. If you are beginner, okay, I will show you and I will try to explain simply how this activity life cycle, how this activity life cycle method work. And this is pretty simple. All right. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, request you to please do subscribe my channel because it will bring you a lot of good stuff on programming. So let's come first. Okay. Let's take a scenario. Suppose you are having an activity. Okay. Let's say there is an activity A1 and there is an activity A2. Okay. And now when this activity is launched, what will happen? There are certain life cycle methods available in the Android. And these are on create, on start, on resume, on pause, on stop, and on destroy. The first three method is called to make your activity in a running state. And last three method is called when you are not interacting with the activity. And there is one more method, it is on restart, is also going to be called when you navigate from one activity to another activity. Now, suppose let's say this is my activity one, and here when we launch it first time, what will happen? These three method, that is on create and say the on start and say on resume will be called as URESUME resume. Now what happened in on create? Basically we put some initial components. For example, creating an object of the views or creating an object of the database. So once this is called, what will happen? It will call on start method. The essence of on start will become more important when you perform the navigation. And third one is the on resume. So what happened? The significance of the on resume is when you activity is in a pause state and when you want to maintain the previous state of your activity. What is the previous state? Suppose if you have a variable x and you have a variable 2 and you want to regain it, okay, you can move from on pause to on resume. Now the point is here, when this will be called when you close the activity, when you press the back button, or when you press the home button. In both case scenario, two different life cycle will be followed. Suppose let's say we will take a scenario in activity A1, you are interacting with an application, this three method will be called. And suppose you are pressing the back button, or something like this, back button. Now what happened in this case scenario? All these three method will be called. Okay. And what happened if you press the home button instead of the back button? Only these two methods will be called, so that when you come back to the activity, it will move to the on restart and on start. Okay. And whatever you have initialized in on create activity, on create method, it will automatically available here in the on start. So this is the first case scenario. Second case scenario is, suppose if you want to navigate from one activity to another activity. Let's say I want to navigate from A1 to A2. Okay, and this particular thing can be performed by using intent. All right. Now what happened when you navigate from one activity to another activity, and when for the A1 activity is launched, naturally once again this three method has been going to be called. And when you navigate from A1 to A2, what will happen? These two method will be called, on pause and on stop. So these two methods are basically the methods of lifecycle method of an activity. And here in an A2 part, what will happen? On create, on start, and on resume method will be called. Okay. Now when you come back from activity A2 to activity A1, in that case scenario, the methods of lifecycle methods of A2, that is the on pause on stop, because we are navigating back, then on destroy will be called. And what will happen? This method, sorry, this activity will be shut it down. And at the same time, once this method has been called, here, once again, see, we are navigating here on destroy method. Okay, everything is closed. So in that case scenario, on create, either the on create or either the it will start from the on stop. Okay, so if we come back, right, by pressing the home button, if we come back, these three methods will be called. And if we are pressing back once again, this three life cycle method, that is the on create, on start, and on resume method will be called. Okay, so to demonstrate this, what I will do, I will just show you this with our last example that we have simply created the login activity. Okay, so here you can see this is the login activity, and here I'm going to write all these three methods, and I'm going to display the log. The log, you can see the log here in the logget, something like this. So here you can see the logget. But before this, let me try to run this application so that here, let me try to run it. It will take some time. I need to cancel this. Okay, so it will, what we can do, we can simply perform here our life cycle method. So I'm going to use here log. That means I want to show the information that when which life cycle method is working. So here you can see we are using the on create. So here I will use a log dot, and I want to display the information. So here I will use log dot I. Okay, so first we need to import the log. Okay, so okay, you can see the log like this. It's a util log, and here I will use I. Okay, the first one is the tag. That means I will say this is coming from which activity? This is coming from system. Actually, sometimes runs slow when we use something like this. Okay, so here I will just, okay, let's say this is the login activity. And inside the login activity, which method is called? I will say that from the login activity, it is called the on create. Okay, in a similar way, we will try to implement all the methods. So I will just do out here, come back at the below, and okay, here, let me just close this method. Okay, hide this method, and let me perform some more lifecycle method. The second one, as you knew, is the on start. So on start, like this. Okay, after the on start, what we are having? We are having the on resume. So we will see. And then after the on resume, we are having on pause. And after the on pause, we are having here on stop. And after the on stop, what we are having here, we are having the on restart. And after the on restart, we are having on destroy. Okay. And what I can do, let me try to implement to this method by just showing a log. So here I will use, let's say, I will paste the last log, and this one is from that is this one is on start. Okay, this one is on start. And after this, we will have the on resume. And then we will have the on pause. And then we will have this method name. On stop. And then we will have the on restart. So this will show when we navigate from one activity to another activity, because we are using the concept of intent, as you know that in the last example. If you haven't watched the last example, please go through it. Okay, so this is something like this. Now what is going to be happen now? After this, we need to perform, we need to show the life cycle method, the same type of life cycle method, when this welcome activities life cycle method has been called. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy all these methods like this, and let me paste it here in the welcome activity. Okay, and I will replace this login activity with the welcome activity. So I will copy this. Okay, and here let me use edit and find and replace. Okay, and this will, I will replace it with the welcome activity. This is all. So as you can see now, okay, one more we need to add here, because we also need to show when this onCreate method of the welcome activity has been called. So I will use here log.I. Okay, like this, and here I will use welcome activity, and this is going to be the onCreate method of onCreate lifecycle method of the welcome. Like this. Okay, now let me test it, and let's see. Here we will see the output when this activity is going to be launched, and it is basically installing the last application, because what happened, it usually runs slow. So you need to wait for the little bit more times. And my friend, actually, uh, if you can also run the same application by using the concept of web, means the Wi-Fi. Okay, it means in the physical device you can run it. So how you can run it, by connecting it via USB, or by connecting it via the pair by using the Wi-Fi. Okay, so as you can see out here, I think something is running out here. Wait, the process will become a little bit slow, so be patient. You can skip it. Okay, if something is pausing, you can just move to the next step. So this is my emulator, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run it once again, because we just need to focus on the activity life cycle. So here I will check it out whether it is running on or not. And now we have a log.I. So here you can just see the logs, which particular, what exactly happened inside your application. This is an info log, and I will check, see here. You can check it out here. Login activity, on create, on start has been called. And now once the on resume is called, you can see fully called, it will become visible. It's running a little bit slow. Okay, you can check it out here. The two method has been called, on create and on start. Let me check whether I defined this on resume or not. You can see on stop, on pause, on resume. Yeah, login activity, on resume haven't been called right now. So let me check it out, what is exactly is happening. It should call. So here somewhere we will check it out. But please do subscribe this channel, okay? And it is very important. Means I will regularly update the new videos on Android. So this is the third video that I have been uploaded here, and so if possible, my friend, share this videos, not only the videos on Android, but also the videos on Java, Spring Boot, React, and a lot of videos that we were going to upload in the upcoming days. So I suggest to please subscribe and share this video. Now let me check it out here. What is exactly happening? Why the on resume method is not called? Okay, let's check it out. Okay, only two method has been called from the login activity, that is on create, on start. On resume has been not called. Maybe sometime happen, it may be missed, but we'll check it out. So here you can see, if I try to type here, so if I type here, because we know that in the login the username and password will be the Girish and 123456. So I will type here Girish. Okay, and password is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and let me make a login. Okay, and let's say see the logcat. Okay, actually I need to rerun this application, because not very we will rerun it. Okay, then it will show the correct. I will delete this log. I didn't need it. We will run it once again. Okay, let it be run. And if you want to see the documentation of this particular activity lifecycle, what you can go out here in the developer.android.com, and here you will have the complete life cycle of the activity, and with the documentation you will get a lot of things out here. Here, as you can see, this is an activity launch, on create, on start, on resume, and moreover you can also check out the life cycle callback when these activities has been called. And this documentation is basically available in Java and Kotlin. So let me check terminate. Okay, that means it will launch once again. We will install it. It's the launching activity. See, now it's running on create, on start, and on resume. And let's make this activity visible. You can check it out here. See, these three has been called. Okay. Okay, now what we can do, now we can just enter the username, that is Girish, and the password. And the password. Okay, when I press the login, you can see I just press the login. Let's see which methods has been going to be called after this. See, now, so point to be noted here, on pause method is called first, and once the on pause method of the login activity has been called, then it will call the on create, on start, and on resume. So when you navigate from one activity to another activity, the first activity on pause method should be called first, and then these three methods will be called once the second activity is visible. Then the first activities on stop method will be called. So activity is not destroyed yet. The login activity is not destroyed, but it is stopped. Now what happened, my friend, if we call the back? Okay. So here how we can call the back? We can call the back like this. Okay. It is sometime take too much time. Don't worry, just check this application. Okay. When you call the back, the same life cycle method, you will find it out. So friends, please do subscribe this channel, and I will give you a lot more applications, something like this, that will help you to build Android application. In the next upcoming tutorial, we will talk about the other viewable component and the different types of listeners that is available. Thanks for watching it.